Have you ever felt like you're swimming against a current, trying to fight your way through life? Like no matter how hard you push, no matter how hard you strive, the results don't seem to come as easily as you'd hoped? Well, here's the truth. Life is not a race, and it's not meant to be a battle. It's a flow, a journey. And when you learn to relax, to release control, everything will come to you naturally. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a stream, looking at the water flowing smoothly in front of you. The stream doesn't struggle. It doesn't fight against the rocks or obstacles in its path. It simply flows. And in that flow, it carves its own way, creating something beautiful. You are like that stream. Life doesn't need to be fought, but rather it needs to be embraced with a sense of calm and surrender. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful keys to living a peaceful and fulfilling life. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that everything must happen immediately, that success and fulfillment should come instantly, or that every step must be planned out with precision. We often spend so much time and energy trying to control every outcome, forcing things to happen, and micromanaging our circumstances that we forget to trust the natural course of events. Trusting the process means accepting that life unfolds in its own time, that everything happens for a reason, and that what is meant for us will come when it is meant to come. As the pressure we feel to control every aspect of our lives comes from a place of fear and insecurity. We fear that if we don't do everything ourselves, things won't work out. We worry about the unknown, about what might happen if we let go of the reins. This constant fear of losing control can lead to anxiety, stress, and even burnout. However, trusting the process requires us to acknowledge that we cannot control every single outcome. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control every variable only leads to frustration. One of the most liberating things you can do is accept that not everything is in your hands. Trusting the process is about surrendering control and allowing life to guide you where you need to go. It's about understanding that every challenge, every setback, and every detour is a part of a larger plan, a plan that you might not always be able to see in the moment. Life has a way of bringing the right opportunities at the right time, but often we have to wait, be patient, and trust that we are where we are meant to be. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go according to plan. Perhaps you experienced a job loss, a relationship ending, or a personal challenge that left you feeling lost. At the time, it may have seemed like the worst thing that could have happened. But looking back, can you see how those experiences were stepping stones to something greater? Sometimes the things we fear the most, or the events that seem to be setbacks, turn out to be the very things that propel us forward. Trusting the process is about realizing that even in the moments of uncertainty, there's a bigger picture unfolding that we can't always see right away. When you trust the process, you release the need for immediate gratification. In today's world, we are conditioned to expect things quickly. Technology has made everything instantaneous, whether it's ordering food, buying products, or communicating with others. This constant access to instant results creates a sense of impatience. We expect that if we work hard enough, we should see results immediately. But life doesn't work like that. Success, growth, and meaningful achievements take time. Trusting the process means allowing yourself the patience to wait for the right results, even if they're not immediate. It's about understanding that good things take time to build and that nothing worthwhile happens overnight. Now, this doesn't mean being passive or complacent. Trusting the process doesn't imply that you stop putting in effort, that you give up on your dreams, or that you sit back and wait for everything to come to you without action. It means taking inspired action while allowing things to unfold naturally. It's about knowing that you're doing your part and then releasing the need to control how or when the outcome will come. By focusing on the present moment, by doing your best, without the attachment to immediate results, you create space for the universe or life itself to bring what's meant for you. Trusting the process is also about faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the journey, and faith in the timing of life. There will be times when you won't have all the answers, when you'll feel uncertain, or when things don't seem to be moving in the direction you expected. In those moments, it's crucial to remember that uncertainty is a natural part of the process. It's through these moments of uncertainty that growth happens. We don't grow in comfort. We grow through challenge, discomfort, and stepping into the unknown. By trusting the process, you're allowing yourself the opportunity to grow and evolve, even if the path is unclear at first. When you embrace this mindset, you stop comparing yourself to others. We often fall into the trap of measuring our progress against someone else's success, and this comparison only breeds insecurity and frustration. Trusting the process means recognizing that your journey is unique. Everyone has their own timeline, their own path, and their own set of circumstances. By letting go of the need to compete with others, you can fully embrace your own journey with all its twists and turns, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. The beauty of trusting the process is that it brings peace. When you let go of the need to control everything, you create space for relaxation, for ease, and for enjoyment. You stop carrying the weight of trying to figure everything out, and instead you begin to flow with life. You trust that things will work out in their own time, and in doing so, you free yourself from the burden of constantly having to push and fight for your dreams. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of a journey to be experienced with patience, trust, and faith. Shifting from forcing to flowing is one of the most profound changes you can make in your life. It is a powerful transformation that requires letting go of the constant need to control every outcome, every decision, and every step in your journey. For many of us, life has become a series of calculated moves, with each decision driven by the desire to force things to happen, to push harder, to make things work, no matter the cost. But when we force things, we often find ourselves in a constant struggle. We exhaust ourselves, lose sight of the bigger picture, and miss the opportunities that come naturally when we allow life to flow instead of forcing it. The idea of flow comes from the concept of being in alignment with the natural rhythm of life. It's about letting go of rigid expectations and surrendering to the idea that life will unfold as it is meant to, even if it doesn't happen exactly as we envision it. Life is full of uncertainty, unpredictability, and unexpected twists. The more we try to control everything, the more we fight against the natural flow of things. We end up forcing situations, relationships, and opportunities, all in an attempt to create the perfect outcome. But the truth is, forcing never leads to long-term fulfillment or sustainable success. When we shift from forcing to flowing, we begin to work with life instead of against it. This shift means recognizing that not everything needs to be planned or controlled. It's about trusting that things will come together when the time is right. Instead of focusing on manipulating every detail, we start to focus on taking inspired action in the moment, trusting that the universe or life itself will guide us toward the right opportunities at the right time. Forcing often stems from fear of failure, fear of missing out, or fear of not achieving the desired outcome. When we are driven by fear, we become attached to specific results, and we become anxious and stressed when things don't go according to plan. This fear-based mindset leads us to push harder, work longer, and sacrifice our well-being just to make things happen. But the harder we push, the more resistance we create. It's like trying to swim upstream against a current. No matter how hard we try, it's exhausting and we don't get anywhere. In contrast, when we allow ourselves to flow, we release that fear. We let go of the attachment to specific outcomes, and instead, we focus on being present and engaged in the process. Flowing is about embracing the journey, not just the destination. It's about finding peace in the present moment, knowing that the path we are on is leading us where we need to go. When we stop forcing and start flowing, we experience life more fully because we are no longer bogged down by anxiety, stress, or the pressure to control every detail. One of the key aspects of flowing is being open to change and uncertainty. Life is not linear, and things don't always go according to plan. When we flow with life, we become adaptable and flexible. We learn to embrace the detours, the bumps in the road, and the unexpected changes that come our way. Instead of resisting them, we learn to navigate them with grace and patience. We understand that sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a setup for something better. When we flow with life, we trust that every experience, whether positive or negative, is contributing to our growth and development. Flowing also means taking the time to listen to our inner selves. When we're caught in the cycle of forcing, we become disconnected from our intuition, from that inner voice that guides us toward what is right for us. When we shift to flowing, we make space for that inner wisdom to speak. We listen to our instincts and trust the guidance that comes from within. Flowing allows us to be more attuned to what we truly want rather than what we think we should want based on external pressures or expectations. The beauty of flowing is that it brings ease into our lives. It's about finding a sense of natural balance. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance. When we stop trying to force everything into place, we begin to experience a sense of freedom. We start to see that we don't need to control every outcome in order to succeed. Instead, we focus on showing up fully, being present, and taking the steps that feel right in the moment. As we do this, the outcomes we desire start to manifest naturally, without the heavy lifting of constant effort or stress. The key to flowing is understanding that success, happiness, and fulfillment do not come from a place of force, but from a place of alignment. When we are in flow, we are in harmony with ourselves and with the world around us. We allow the universe to bring us the opportunities, people, and experiences that are meant for us, and we do so with patience and trust. The more we let go of the need to control, the more we create space for everything to come together in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. So instead of forcing your way through life, try flowing. Let go of the need to control every outcome and allow life to unfold naturally. Trust that the right opportunities will come at the right time, and that every step you take, no matter how uncertain it may seem, is leading you to exactly where you need to be. Patience is often considered one of the most underrated virtues in today's fast-paced world. In an age where instant gratification has become the norm, learning to embrace patience can feel like a challenge. We live in a world where everything seems to be happening rapidly, from the rise of technology to the expectations of immediate results in nearly every aspect of our lives. However, understanding that good things take time and that the journey itself holds invaluable lessons is crucial to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Patience is not just about waiting for things to happen. It's about trusting the process and finding peace in the pauses, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. When we cultivate patience, we start to embrace the reality that not everything in life can or should be rushed. The pressure to have everything right now can create anxiety, stress, and frustration, leaving us feeling like we're constantly chasing after something just out of reach. But the truth is, many of the most worthwhile achievements in life take time to develop. Whether it's mastering a skill, building a career, cultivating relationships, or achieving personal growth, the most meaningful results are often the ones that require time, effort, and dedication. Patience teaches us to value the process over the outcome. We live in a society that often places more importance on the destination than the journey, but it's in the process that we learn, grow, and evolve. Every step along the way contributes to our development, even if it's not immediately apparent. For instance, When we're working toward a goal, we may not see the immediate rewards of our efforts. However, every day of hard work, every small action we take is building towards something greater. With patience, we learn to appreciate these small moments of progress, knowing that they are all part of the bigger picture. One of the biggest hurdles to developing patience is our tendency to compare our progress to others. In a world where social media shows us the highlight reels of everyone's success, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind or not doing enough. We see others achieving things quickly, and we begin to think that we should be moving at the same pace. However, this mindset can be incredibly damaging. It fosters feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, making it even harder to trust the process and be patient with our own journey. Patience teaches us to focus on our own path, understanding that everyone has their own timeline and our journey doesn't need to look like anyone else's. When we embrace patience, we also begin to understand the importance of timing. Life is not about forcing things to happen, but about recognizing when the time is right to take action. Sometimes waiting for the right moment can make all the difference. Patience allows us to be in tune with the natural rhythm of life, understanding that everything has its season. Just like a seed needs time to grow into a tree, our dreams and goals require time and nurturing to come to fruition. If we try to rush the process, we risk missing out on the lessons and experiences that are essential for long-term success and fulfillment. Patience also helps us navigate setbacks and challenges with resilience. In the face of obstacles, it's easy to get discouraged and feel like we're not making progress. But when we have patience, we realize that setbacks are not failures. They are part of the process. They provide us with opportunities to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. Life is full of unexpected twists, and while it's natural to feel frustrated when things don't go according to plan, patience allows us to view these moments as temporary rather than permanent. Instead of giving up, we learn to persevere, trusting that every setback is simply a stepping stone to something greater. Practicing patience cultivates a sense of peace and acceptance in our lives. When we stop rushing through life and start appreciating the present moment, we become more grounded and content. It's easy to get caught up in the race for success, constantly striving for the next achievement, the next milestone, or the next big thing. But when we learn to be patient, we realize that life is not a race. It's a journey. By allowing ourselves to be present in each moment, we free ourselves from the anxiety of constantly needing to be somewhere else or doing something more. Patience brings us into alignment with the present, allowing us to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Patience also fosters a deeper sense of self-awareness. As we wait for things to unfold, we begin to understand ourselves better. We recognize the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that arise when we feel impatient, and we learn to manage them. This self-awareness helps us become more emotionally resilient and better equipped to handle life's challenges. It also helps us develop empathy for others as we realize that everyone is on their own unique journey and may need time to grow and evolve just like we do. Patience is about trust. It's about trusting ourselves, trusting the process, and trusting that life will unfold as it is meant to. It's about knowing that everything we desire and work toward will come in its own time, and that rushing or forcing things will not bring us the peace and fulfillment we seek. Patience allows us to live more fully, to be present in the moment, and to appreciate the beauty of the journey. Knowing that the best things in life often take the longest to arrive, nurturing your peace is one of the most transformative steps you can take toward living a fulfilled and harmonious life. In a world that's constantly moving and filled with distractions, it can often feel like maintaining inner calm is an impossible task. Stress, anxiety, and constant pressure to do more can overwhelm us, leading to a sense of imbalance that affects every area of our lives. However, by cultivating practices that nurture your peace, you create a foundation for a life that is centered, grounded, and able to respond to challenges with calm and clarity. Nurturing your peace doesn't require perfection or constant stillness, but it does require intentionality and awareness to prioritize the quiet moments amidst the chaos. One of the most powerful ways to nurture your peace is through practices like meditation. In a society where we are constantly bombarded with information and tasks, taking time to simply sit in silence can seem counterproductive. However, meditation is one of the most effective tools for calming the mind and reconnecting with your inner self. It allows you to step away from the noise of the world and find a space of stillness within. In this space, you can reconnect with your breath, focus your thoughts, and release any tension or stress you may be carrying. Meditation helps quiet the constant chatter of the mind, creating a peaceful inner environment that enhances clarity, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Breathing exercises are another simple yet powerful way to nurture your peace. Often when we are stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, we forget the power of our breath. We shallow breathe, which sends signals to the body that we are in danger, even when there is no immediate threat. Deep, conscious breathing, on the other hand, signals to our body that it's safe to relax, activating the parasympathetic nervous system and reducing stress. Taking just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath can help center you, reduce anxiety, and bring a sense of calm and clarity. Whether it's a deep inhale and exhale or using techniques like box breathing or alternate nostril breathing, these exercises help bring you back to the present moment, helping you release any tension and return to a state of peace. Slowing down is another key practice in nurturing your peace. In our fast-paced world, we often rush from one task to another without taking the time to fully experience or enjoy each moment. This constant sense of urgency creates stress, making it harder to find peace. Slowing down allows you to be more mindful and present, which is essential for maintaining inner calm, whether you're walking, eating, working, or simply taking a break. Intentionally slowing down helps you appreciate the present and reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's about embracing each moment with full awareness, allowing yourself to step out of autopilot mode and experience life more fully. Equally important to nurturing your peace is learning to set boundaries. Many people struggle to maintain peace because they allow the demands of others to drain their energy or overwhelm their emotions. Setting healthy boundaries means recognizing your limits and saying no when something doesn't align with your needs or values. It's about protecting your peace from external influences that can cause stress, whether it's overcommitment, toxic relationships, or negative environment. By setting boundaries, you prioritize your mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that you have the energy and clarity to focus on what truly matters. Another way to nurture your peace is by creating a peaceful environment. The spaces we inhabit can have a profound impact on our state of mind. A cluttered or chaotic environment can increase feelings of stress and overwhelm, while a clean, organized, and calming space promotes relaxation and mental clarity. Take time to create a peaceful environment in your home, workspace, or wherever you spend significant time. Simple changes like decluttering, adding calming colors, using soft lighting, or incorporating elements like plants or nature sounds can have a positive effect on your mood and help you feel more centered. Additionally, practicing gratitude is a powerful tool for nurturing your peace. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong or what we don't have, but gratitude shifts your perspective. When you take time each day to acknowledge the blessings in your life, you move away from a mindset of scarcity and into one of abundance. This shift in perspective reduces stress and cultivates a sense of peace because you start to focus on what's already going well rather than what's lacking. Gratitude helps ground you in the present moment and reminds you that even in challenging times, there are always things to be thankful for. Another key aspect of nurturing your peace is learning to manage your emotions. It's normal to feel a wide range of emotions, but how we respond to them can determine whether we maintain our peace or allow ourselves to be swept away by external circumstances. Emotional regulation involves acknowledging your feelings without letting them control you. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger, frustration, or sadness, you can learn to pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with your desire for peace. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Rather, it's about understanding and processing them in a healthy way. Nurturing your peace means embracing self-compassion. Often, we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to unrealistic standards and constantly pushing ourselves to do more. But peace can only flourish when we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion involves accepting yourself as you are, with all your strengths and imperfections. It's about being gentle with yourself during difficult moments and recognizing that you are worthy of love and care no matter what. This self-compassionate mindset allows you to maintain inner peace even in the face of challenges, because you no longer rely on external validation or perfection to feel at ease. By nurturing your peace through these practices, you build a foundation for a life that is less reactive and more grounded. In a world that constantly demands more from us, prioritizing peace is an act of strength and wisdom. It's a commitment to yourself and your well-being, ensuring that you have the clarity and resilience to navigate life's challenges with calm and grace. Understanding that timing plays a critical role in achieving our goals is a perspective that many people overlook in their pursuit of success. In a society that values instant results, we often feel pressured to force things to happen as quickly as possible. Whether it's securing a job, finding a partner, or launching a project, the rush to achieve can overshadow the importance of allowing the natural progression of events to unfold. Timing, however, is an essential part of the equation, and when we learn to trust it, we begin to align ourselves with the rhythms of life, allowing everything to fall into place as it should. At the core of the concept of timing is the understanding that not every moment is the right moment. We may have big dreams, and the desire to see those dreams come to fruition might be overwhelming. But just because we want something now doesn't mean that we are ready for it, or that the world is ready to receive us at that precise moment. Timing requires patience, as it's about recognizing that certain things take time to develop. We can't rush the process of growth, and we certainly can't rush the unfolding of opportunities that life has in store for us. Each stage of our journey has a purpose, and it's essential to embrace each step with the awareness that timing is working in our favor. In many aspects of life, waiting for the right time can be a crucial factor in our success. Consider the analogy of planting a seed. No matter how much we may want the seed to grow into a tree right away, we know that it must first take root, sprout, and develop over time. If we try to rush the process by forcing the seed to grow too quickly, we risk damaging it. The same principle applies to our personal goals. Just as a tree needs time to grow strong and healthy, our dreams need time to mature. Forcing things before their time often leads to burnout, frustration, and disappointment. However, when we allow time to work in our favor, we position ourselves to enjoy sustainable growth where our successes are built on a solid foundation. In addition to growth, timing is also crucial when it comes to making decisions. In our eagerness to succeed, we often make hasty decisions that are driven by impatience or fear of missing out. However, rushed decisions rarely yield the best outcomes. When we take the time to reflect, evaluate, and consider all options, we are more likely to make decisions that are aligned with our long-term goals. Timing allows us to gather the necessary information, weigh the pros and cons, and ultimately make choices that are in our best interest. Rushing to make decisions without proper timing can lead to missteps or regrets, leaving us to backtrack and correct our course later on. By respecting the power of timing, we avoid unnecessary mistakes and set ourselves up for success by making more thoughtful and informed choices. Timing is also about recognizing when opportunities are right in front of us. Sometimes we spend so much time focusing on what we think we want that we miss the perfect opportunity when it appears. When we understand the role that timing plays, we develop the ability to recognize when a window of opportunity opens. The key is to stay present and attuned to the signs around us, trusting that opportunities will come at the right time. Instead of forcing a situation or pushing for something to happen when it's not the right moment, we learn to trust that things will unfold when we're ready and when the world is ready to receive us. This awareness allows us to embrace opportunities as they arise, without the pressure of trying to make things happen according to our own timeline. Additionally, timing is essential in how we approach relationships. Whether it's building personal or professional relationships, there is a certain rhythm to human connection that can't be rushed. Forcing relationships to evolve too quickly or trying to fit people into our expectations can lead to misunderstandings or disappointments. By understanding timing, we allow relationships to develop naturally, giving space for trust, communication, and mutual understanding to grow. This doesn't mean we should sit back passively, but rather that we should approach relationships with patience, knowing that the right people will come into our lives at the right time. Building strong relationships requires time, and when we honor that time, the bonds we form will be deeper and more meaningful. In the same vein, understanding timing can help us navigate setbacks with grace. In life, things don't always go as planned, and we may find ourselves facing obstacles or delays. Rather than becoming frustrated or discouraged, we can use these moments as opportunities for reflection and learning. Sometimes setbacks are simply part of the process, and they offer us valuable lessons that prepare us for the next step. When we recognize that timing plays a role in setbacks, we are less likely to become disheartened and more likely to see them as part of the bigger picture. This shift in perspective allows us to maintain our focus and patience, trusting that everything is unfolding according to its own perfect timing. Timing is intricately linked to our own growth and readiness. We might feel that we're prepared to take on a new challenge or embark on a new chapter in our lives, but true readiness comes when we have the right mindset, skills, and emotional resilience. Sometimes life holds off on presenting certain opportunities until we are truly ready to handle them. This period of waiting, while frustrating at times, ensures that we are equipped to handle the responsibilities and challenges that come with success. Understanding that our readiness matters allows us to trust that the universe or life itself is preparing us for what's to come, even when it feels like progress is slow. When we stop rushing and start trusting the timing of our lives, we create space for the right things to happen. We stop forcing and start flowing, allowing the universe to work with us instead of against us. Everything will come to us at the right time, and when it does, we will be ready to embrace it with open arms and a heart full of gratitude. Trusting the process is one of the most important principles we can embrace in life. It means having the faith to continue working toward our goals, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Often we get discouraged when things don't seem to be moving as quickly as we would like. We may feel like our efforts are in vain, that we're putting in the time and energy, but not seeing the return we expected. This is where the concept of trusting the process becomes crucial. It's about believing that all the hard work, small actions, and sacrifices are leading to something greater, even when the outcome is not yet clear. Life is rarely a linear path, and success is often not a straightforward journey. There are many twists and turns along the way, and the pace at which things unfold can vary greatly from person to person. We live in a culture that celebrates immediate results, whether it's through social media success, quick promotions, or rapid business growth. This emphasis on instant gratification can create a sense of urgency and pressure, making us feel like we need to see tangible results now in order to validate our efforts. However, when we trust the process, we free ourselves from the need for immediate outcomes. Instead of fixating on the destination, we begin to appreciate the journey and the incremental progress we make each day. Trusting the process also means understanding that setbacks and challenges are part of the journey. Often when we encounter difficulties, we question whether we're on the right path. We might feel like we're failing or that the universe is working against us. But in reality, challenges are often opportunities in disguise. They are part of the process of growth and development. Every obstacle we face teaches us something valuable, whether it's resilience, patience, or a new skill. Trusting the process requires us to accept that these challenges are necessary steps toward our ultimate success. They may not be easy, but they are an essential part of our personal and professional evolution. One of the hardest parts of trusting the process is letting go of control. We often want to be in charge of every outcome to ensure that things go according to our plan. But the reality is that not everything is within our control. There are external factors, timing, and circumstances that are beyond our influence. When we try to control every aspect of the process, we create unnecessary stress and frustration. Trusting the process involves surrendering to the flow of life, accepting that some things are simply out of our hands. This doesn't mean we stop working or stop trying. It means we stop forcing and allow things to unfold naturally. We continue putting in the effort, but we let go of the need to dictate the outcome. As we learn to trust the process, we also develop a sense of patience. It's easy to become impatient when we want something badly or when we've been working hard for a long time without seeing immediate results. But patience is a vital part of trusting the process. It teaches us to remain consistent and persistent even when we can't see the immediate rewards of our efforts. With patience, we can look at our progress over time and recognize the small steps that have led us closer to our goals. Every day of hard work, every challenge we overcome, every lesson we learn is a part of the process. And trusting that each step is taking us closer to our destination helps us stay motivated. In addition to patience, trusting the process also requires resilience. There will be times when we feel like giving up or when we doubt ourselves and our abilities. However, resilience is what keeps us moving forward even in the face of adversity. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough, and to maintain the belief that we are capable of achieving our goals. Trusting the process is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about knowing that we have the strength to overcome them and that each challenge is preparing us for something greater. Another essential aspect of trusting the process is self-belief. We must have faith in our abilities and trust that we are on the right path. Self-doubt is natural, especially when things aren't going as planned, but it's important to push past that doubt and trust that we have what it takes to succeed. When we believe in ourselves, we stay committed to the process, even when the journey gets tough. We trust that the effort we put in today will pay off in the future, even if we can't see the results right now. Trusting the process is about embracing uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and we can't predict exactly how things will unfold. However, we can choose to trust that in the end, everything will work out as it's meant to. The road may be bumpy and the timeline may not be what we expected, but the process is always leading us to where we need to be. When we trust in the process, we release the fear and anxiety that often accompany the unknown, and we learn to enjoy the journey. We stay focused on our goals, keep taking the necessary steps, and believe that the results will come in their own time. Embracing self-love is one of the most powerful steps we can take toward creating a life filled with peace, happiness, and fulfillment. In a world that often emphasizes external validation, it's easy to forget the importance of loving ourselves first. We are conditioned to seek approval from others, to base our worth on achievements, and to measure our success by how others perceive us. However, true peace and contentment come from within, and self-love is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Self-love is not about being arrogant or narcissistic. It is about recognizing your intrinsic value and treating yourself with the kindness, respect, and compassion that you deserve. It means accepting yourself fully with all your strengths and imperfections and acknowledging that you are worthy of love regardless of your mistakes or shortcomings. When we love ourselves, we stop relying on the validation of others to feel good about who we are. We begin to understand that our worth is not defined by external circumstances or the opinions of others, but by the simple fact that we are human beings deserving of love and care. One of the most important aspects of self-love is learning to be kind to ourselves, especially during times of struggle or failure. It's easy to be our own harshest critics, to dwell on our mistakes and shortcomings, and to believe that we are not good enough. However, self-love involves shifting that inner dialogue. Instead of beating yourself up for not being perfect, self-love encourages you to speak to yourself with kindness and understanding. It's about acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes and that you are not defined by those mistakes. When we can offer ourselves the same compassion that we would give to a friend, we create an environment where we can heal, grow, and move forward with confidence. Self-love also involves setting boundaries. It's about recognizing that you have the right to protect your energy and well-being. Setting healthy boundaries is an essential part of self-love because it allows you to say no to things that drain you, to distance yourself from people who are toxic or negative, and to prioritize your mental and emotional health. When we fail to set boundaries, we risk becoming overwhelmed, burnt out, and resentful. But by practicing self-love, we learn to say no without guilt, to protect our peace, and to honor our needs. This act of self-care reinforces the idea that you are worthy of respect, both from yourself and others. In addition to kindness and boundaries, self-love also involves nurturing your body and mind. It's about taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. This might mean getting enough rest, eating nutritious food, exercising, or taking time to relax. It's about recognizing that your body is a precious vessel that deserves to be cared for and treated with respect. Self-love means listening to your body's needs. Whether it's getting enough sleep, engaging in activities that bring you joy, or giving yourself time to recharge. By nurturing your body, you demonstrate that you value yourself and understand the importance of self-care. Another critical component of self-love is practicing self-compassion. Life is filled with challenges, and it's natural to feel discouraged or upset at times. However, self-compassion allows us to embrace our imperfections and respond to difficulties with gentleness and understanding. Instead of harshly judging ourselves for every mistake or failure, self-compassion encourages us to acknowledge our humanity and treat ourselves with care during difficult moments. It's about giving yourself the grace to be imperfect and allowing yourself to learn and grow from life's ups and downs. By practicing self-compassion, we create a positive and supportive inner environment that fosters emotional well-being. Self-love also means forgiving yourself. We all have regrets, things we wish we had done differently, or mistakes that we feel ashamed of. However, carrying the weight of guilt and self-blame only hinders our growth and peace. Self-love involves letting go of past mistakes, forgiving yourself for any wrongs, and allowing yourself to move forward. It's about accepting that you are human and that mistakes are part of the learning process. By releasing guilt and embracing forgiveness, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and open ourselves to the possibilities of the future. Self-love is not a one-time act. It is a continuous practice. It's about making the decision every day to honor yourself, to prioritize your well-being, and to choose kindness over criticism. It's a mindset that requires ongoing effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. When you love yourself, you create a solid foundation for a happy and fulfilled life. You become more resilient, more confident, and more capable of handling the challenges that come your way. With self-love, you attract positivity into your life because you radiate the energy of someone who values themselves. You set the standard for how others should treat you, and you become a beacon of light for those around you. Embracing self-love transforms the way we see ourselves and the world. It frees us from the need for external validation and allows us to step into our true power. When we love ourselves, we begin to live authentically, unapologetically, and with purpose. We stop seeking approval from others and start living in alignment with our own values, desires, and dreams. Self-love is the key to unlocking your full potential and living a life that is fulfilling, peaceful, and authentic. By embracing self-love, you can begin to create a life that is aligned with your true self, where every action, decision, and relationship is rooted in the belief that you are worthy of all the love, happiness, and success the world has to offer.